Here is my retro gaming setup for 2023. Starting, I do have my PC here, which I work from home on and play a lot of games on, but above it, you will see my TV, which is how I set up both my Xbox 360 and my Wii. And I have a switch back there, don't mind my cable management, so I can swap between the two on the TV super easily. I do keep my controllers right here, as you can see over here. I did try some 3D printed mounts that I got off Etsy, but the adhesive wasn't very good, so they just kind of fell off. So I'm gonna need to screw them into the wall, but I don't have that done quite yet. We'll go over kind of my whole setup, and then we'll go over the cool other things I have on the walls. Here we have my CRT TV. This is where I play my NES and some GameCube games. There are some GameCube games that I do prefer playing on the little TV rather than the big TV, specifically like Tony Hawk. I just remember them more fondly on a TV like this. Panning up here, we actually have the collection. Now you can see this shelf is overstocked. I'm working on a solution for that. It might just be putting in another shelf under here, but you can see we've run out of space. We'll go from right to left here. So we have my Game Boy Advance collection, which I'm happy to say every game except for one we actually have complete in box. The one that I'm missing is Pokemon Leaf Green. As I'm sure you guys know, that game is pretty freaking expensive. So that is a heavy goal for me, is to get the Leaf Green complete in box, because then the entire thing is done. These are mostly all games that I remember as a kid, except for Pokemon Pinball, which I've recently really liked pinball games, so I wanted to get. That's a theme with my whole collection. These are games that I actually want to play. I'm not a reseller. Everything I buy goes directly into my collection. I'm not getting chaff too, I'm just getting the things that I actually want to play. Here's the NES collection. This is not all of it, this is about half of it, but these are the ones that I play the most. Unlike Game Boy Advance, sadly, everything I have is not complete in box. I just got some of the cheaper ones and the important ones to me complete in box. Zelda was the first one I bought. The original Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite games ever. Originally, I played it on the GameCube collection back in high school, and I just absolutely loved it. Now, I did not grow up with an NES, so I don't have like early memories of these. NES is before my time. I grew up more with the GameCube and the Xbox 360, but I've always been very interested in how gaming has progressed, and so I thought it'd be awesome to try NES, and I mean, I love it. I got Kirby's Adventure and I played through it in like 2 days. First NES game, I think first and only NES game I've beat other than Legend of Zelda, and it's a ton of fun to replay. I play Tetris every day. I love Tetris. NES Tetris is the best Tetris. I absolutely love it. I have some Nintendo Power back there just to kind of fill up the space, because this side of the shelf is a lot lower than over here. Moving on, we have some Wii games. I'm not huge into the Wii. I did have a Wii as a kid, but I just got some ones that I really wanted to play. You know, Kirby's collection, some Naruto games, and Super Mario. I do have a couple more on my to-get list, but the Wii games are pretty low priority. Next are GameCube. As a kid, I grew up mainly with the Xbox 360 and the GameCube. Now, the GameCube games, as I'm sure a lot of you know, are so freaking expensive. These two alone cost me so much money, but they are games that I regard as some of my favorite games, and I'm a sucker for playing them on the original hardware, so I just had to get them. Next are the Xbox 360 games. You can see I have a ton of these. I'm sure you guys also know that Xbox 360 games are a bit cheaper, so these were a lot more easy to pick up. But the Xbox 360 has some of my favorite franchises like BioShock, Fable, Fallout, 3 of my favorite franchises ever, as well as some other ones. You guys know I really like Naruto. I mean, you can see I have almost all of Naruto up there. The prototype games, Red Faction, all these other things, Mass Effect, Call of Duty, Portal, everything. It just has so many bangers and they're so cheap, and I remember them so fondly that I've been wanting to replay all of them. And like I said, I do play through all of them. Like I just played through the World at War campaign. Now I'm playing through a first Assassin's Creed. I did have an original Xbox as a kid, but I was really young when we did. It was mainly my brothers. So I just got some games that we really like Jet Set Future Radio. That's honestly one of my favorite games of all time. I absolutely love Super Monkey Ball. You probably saw I have it for the Game Boy as well. The Red Faction is, I like Red Faction. And Mech Assault was awesome. And then some of these other games like Destroy All Humans and Psychonauts are games I actually didn't play as a kid, but I know are fan favorites, so I really wanted to try them to see what people like about them. So that's all it is for the game portion of the collection, but we can go over all the peripherals and cool collectibles that I have. So this is like the Star Wars wall. There's a little couch down here that dogs like to hang out on. We have some Japanese Star Wars posters that I got off Etsy over here. These are super cool. And then this is a poster that came in the sci-fi magazine up there for Star Wars. It's 22 by 33. It's a very weird size, but super cool centerpiece there. I have some limited edition collectible bookends there for Star Wars, some Star Wars books. The Bayonetta Switch collection. I do have a Switch, but that is downstairs in the family room because my wife really likes to play it with me. And then we have all of Death Note, and then an awesome Ocarina of Time sealed figure collection. I wanted one of these back in high school when I didn't have a job. I just thought it was so cool, and so it's really special being able to pick that up. As we saw, I have a ton of Naruto with some statues. Now those aren't those official resin statues that are hundreds of dollars. I got these off Alibaba because I didn't want to drop a few hundred on them, you know. Here we just have some artwork. We have a Nuka-Cola Quantum poster, Jet Set Radio, and BioShock. As I said, I love those games. Then we have 2 graded comics. I'm not into comic books, but I was at a flea market with my wife and I saw some graded comic books. I'm like, man, those will look cool on a wall. So I decided to get some cheap ones. I think I got these for like 40 bucks a piece to put up on the wall. Those are awesome. As we saw, we have the TV that I play games on. We have some reproduction Game Boy Advance box arts here. So these are not real. I got these off Etsy as well. And then just poster putty them to the wall to fill the space there. Something cool too is I have this bar light that is also synced with the backlight, trying to match my lava lamp right there. Then over here, we actually have a local artist did that. That's like a pen drawing of the pain fight from Naruto. We have the reflection there is pretty bad from the TV. Here we have a map of Gillinor from old school RuneScape. I have thousands of hours in old school RuneScape. I don't really play it anymore, but I love it and I have such fond memories of it. And then we just have some work stuff where I have a calendar. Then finally over here, I used to work in a magic card shop in high school and I had a really cool boss who actually gave me these. They're my favorite basic land art of all time, so I just framed them, put them on the wall there, and that's it. All right, guys, that's the overview. I do plan on doing a more in-depth view of my collection where I kind of talk about each game and franchise that I really like. That'll be a really long form video, maybe down the road a little bit. But let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in that. And if there's anything else that interests you that you guys want a bigger tour on, I'm happy to give it. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.